So when you're editing for virtual reality, you have to consider that you are dealing with a 360 space. And that's a consideration you have to have for every process of making a film for virtual reality. First, you need to stitch your video. And what does that mean? Is basically putting each image, each video together and stitch it. Today, it's way easier. Most cameras come with their own stitching software. And I've even seen one camera that you can attach to your cell phone and the cell phone does the stitching for you, so it's not that complicated. Or if you want to dive deeper and have more control on that stitching, you can use something called Mistika VR. That's the one I use. Right, so when you're editing in 360, you need to give people the space and time to find themselves in the space, realize who they are, where they are, what they are, if they're going to be a character, for example. And every time you do a cut and you change to a new scene, for example, you need to give people space again to be in there. For editing, you can use software like Adobe Premiere Pro if you have access to that software. And if not, because it can be expensive, you can try out DaVinci Resolve.
Editing audio for a virtual reality experience is more complicated than it is in any other medium, specifically because of the ambisonic sound, but also because you're going to be using multiple pieces of software. Ambisonic audio in virtual reality is perhaps the most underdeveloped aspect of virtual reality at this point. That's not to say there's not a lot of great stuff out there, but most of your typical audio editors and most of your typical video editors do not have great ways to deal with ambisonic sound. I use something called Reaper. Great piece of audio software that stands on its own as a digital audio workspace. It's very customizable, and that's why it's so good for this. Now, you're still dealing with 4 different channels of sound that you are building around you in this arena. Like, you are working with 4 different areas of sound that you need to somehow carve into a circle around you, and then you mix it in that way. Okay, I don't want that much sound, I really want to hear what's coming from the front. And then you can also, on top of that, add other elements.
You can import sound effects and have a fly going around the viewer, for example, and do that all in that software. And then you can also use Adobe Premiere Pro to put that sound into that video.